for observation of various loading conditions on automobile, then there will be a fixed load acting on various component. What is those kinds of, which are the loads? We'll say the loads acting on components are available in terms of dead weight of the system, which is configured as chassis, engine mountings, powertrain mountings, body, and all other components which are mounted on whole system. And the whole chassis system is supported by wheels with incorporating component which is suspension system. So here whatever load dead weight is identified, that is due to the whole system's grab weight. So that load is going to be distributed in 4 different zones. At front, half of the load is distributed, at rear, half of the load is distributed. And in front, we are having 2 wheels and 2 chassis components, 2 suspension systems. So the load is going to be transferred to wheels through the suspension system. And what is task of that suspension system? To help in decreasing vibrations. It is not there to carry loads. It is holding or helping to control the vibrations available in whole system. We are having 16 different components of observation for simple structural surfaces observation, in which transverse floor beam is at the front. You will be able to see the one over here. The transverse floor beam for rear section, it is available over here somewhere. Then 3 and 4 are inner wing panels. You will be able to see it over here. These are the front inner wing panels. In similar manner, we are having 7 and 8, which are rear quarter panels to carry luggage loads. We are having dash panel at the front, which helps us when collision happens. This will separate out the collision impacts as well. This is holding the whole profile to maintain the structural stability of body. Then front parcel, front panel for parcels or shelf, you can say. Similar back or rear shelf is also available. We are having floor panel, whole panel is there, which is helping us to carry and hold the load. We are having left hand side frame components, which holds the twisting of whole body. Windscreen frames are also there, which helps to maintain the stability of structure at the front section, and as well the roof panels are also there, and rear window frame is also there. These frames are helping the glass to be mounted at particular region without deformation. As well, at the top, if we are having glass, then we can say glass deformation is controlled. As well, if sheet metal is placed, then sheet metal is deforming less whenever this component is strengthened. So these are the profile components which needs to be strengthened. Now, whenever we are seeing the loads, we are generally distributing that load in particular manner. Like front passenger load is there, then rear passenger load is there, then luggage load is there, and front the main load, which is due to powertrains and engine and all components. And these are 2 reactions. So there are considerable 4 loads acting on the whole chassis body, and 2 reactive loads are identified here. When we are profiling it from the side view, there are 2 loads visible, but in 3-dimensional view we are having 4 loads, but 4 reactive components. So, and the passenger load is also 2 passengers at front, 2 passengers at rear. Seat 2 or 3 passengers you can consider. Engine mounting powertrains are generally considered to be at center. It may or may not be at center. In rear luggage space, we are saying there may or may not be at center. Whatever configuration we achieve, that particular configuration is going to decide how that particular system load condition will act on your component. And how we are finding reactions at particular zone. To find that reactions, we are going for particular observation of moments at a zone So what is going to be the configuration? Here I have shown the baseline bending model, which is considered for observation of the actual loading condition what we terminate or what we identify inside an automobile. Here, whether the vehicle is commercial vehicle or it is uh, general automobile or passenger vehicle, we are not concentrating on that. We are just going through the load distribution criteria so that whenever we are defining certain application, we are able to understand which kind of load is going to act in that particular condition. If I'll say a buggy system is there where you are having front driver seat and a conductor seat, and at the rear portion we are having whole luggage carrier, then at that time what is going to happen? The rear passenger loads are going to be considered for luggage space, and the frame is going to be half than the frame, structural frame available in this structure. So we'll have another condition over here. I'll show you that configuration. If I'll go on representing that particular stuff, I'll go on representing that model. Whatever you are observing, just refer that observation for your criteria. This is going to be the luggage space. This is going to be the frontal space, and at the front we are having the mounting of engine and all. Okay, so this is going to be the configuration. So whole frame what we are observing will have configuration like this. And what are going to be the reactive loads? We can say the reactive load will be available over here somewhere in upward direction from front wheel, as we are aware that this is the condition in automobile, and this is going to be the rear component. And what are the engine loads available? You will say this is the engine load, this is the first front passenger load, and at the center of gravity of component we'll assume that a luggage load is acting. I will text it so you will be able to understand it. I'll write powertrain load PTL. PTL powertrain load, and all load is available over here. I'll designate it as FPL front passenger load. I'll designate it as LL luggage load, and this is going to be the RFL reaction for front load, reaction at front load or at front frame, and RFR reaction at rear. So this is going to be the commercial vehicles configuration. You can imagine if it is in 3 dimension how you will observe it. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Notation is on, but you are requested not to attempt that notation. So this is going to be the configuration. And how we should go ahead for observing the other configuration or load distribution criteria study, how we can conduct it. So we'll go for studying the load consideration over here. If I am considering hinge at front region, what is going to be the criteria of observation? So if we take moment at particular zone to find reaction, then what is going to be the position of component? Now I'll convert the whole diagram in free body diagram if you are able to see. So this will make sure that you are understanding the concept in proper way. Now you are right now visualizing the whole consideration of the system. I'll convert it in free body diagram. So this is the beam which is overhung from both the sections. Now I will annotate the reactions in our main system. So this is the first reaction. I have made it somewhat large, so it is visible like this. I'll go for arrow formation again. So this is going to be the front reaction. This is going to be the rear reaction. Now we'll go for the loading criteria. If you are able to see, I am plotting now the loading criteria, and I'll just change its formation of observation so it is easy for you to understand. This is going to be the powertrain load, this is going to be the front passenger load, this is going to be the rear passenger load, this is going to be the luggage load. Now I have already mentioned over here taking moment at the rear suspension. So what is going to happen if I take moment over here? So we'll have FPT. What is that FPT? It is available over here. Front passenger load. It is going for particular direction moment. If I can show that moment, FPT is going for FPT plus L. This is the observation criteria. I have to designate it in clear manner. And whole calculation is going to be represented over here. Now we can take the moment at two different regions. I am taking moment over here. I hope you will be able to see. If you are clear about how the moments are counted in simply supported beam, then you will be able to understand it clearly how you will be able to analyze the condition. So this is the component at which I need to have a particular moment. Now I'll draft equation for it. So my equation is going to be like this, taking moment at rear suspension RR. What is going to be the criteria? Taking moment at RR, I'll have clockwise moments and counterclockwise moments. I'll say FL luggage multiplied by LL is equal to, this is the clockwise moment if you are able to visualize it. I am taking moment over here. I am not having that configuration to show, but I'll place a curve so that you will be able to understand it. I am taking moment over here. Okay, this one is somewhat clumsy, so I should go for a red color pen and I should show it. So this is the moment in clockwise direction towards the rear suspension. I am designating it as FL multiplied by LL. Now the second component would be like this. If you are able to understand, the another component is going to be like this. The last component is going to be like this, and this component will show the clockwise moment. So we are having two clockwise moments and three counterclockwise moments, and my component will go like this. FL multiplied by LL is equal to, we can say, FPR multiplied by the distance between them, which is L. I'll say it is L minus, what is the distance? LPR. That is for the rear passengers. Now if I'm going for front passengers, it will be plus, because I'm going for counterclockwise movement. It is FPR, FP, I'll say front, multiplied by L minus, it is LPF, front passenger region. What is another load available for our criteria in this moment? We'll say F powertrain, front powertrain condition is there. So what is going to be that load? It is going to be plus, we are having one reaction also, so we'll go for that reaction also. So it is plus F powertrain multiplied by, we will say L plus LPT. If you are able to see the distance of powertrain is over there. So this is the reactions in which direction we are having three reactions in counterclockwise and two reactions in clockwise. I have placed one in clockwise. So I'll go for minus to place that clockwise, or I can go for addition over here. I'll go for plus in the left hand direction. It is going to be the RF multiplied by how much distance is there between these two? L.
L.
So this is going to be the condition if you are able to see. So FL by LL plus RF by L multiplied by L is equal to FPR multiplied by L minus LPR plus FPF into L minus LPF plus FPT multiplied by RF multiplied by L plus LPT. So this is the whole configuration. Now if I will keep the RFL, take the RFL, this one as the subject, what is going to happen? We'll have this configuration. This whole reaction is going to be developed over there. I hope you are able to understand. So this is the front suspension reaction. I would request you to attempt it for one or two times so that you will be able to identify and analyze what is going to be the reaction. So by attempting this, we are able to have this configuration. Okay. So when I go ahead to observe the rear reaction, then what is going to happen? We'll have similar kind of condition. Okay, I have to erase this one so that I can switch to the next slide. Okay, now it's done. I'll go for next slide. Okay. Now taking moment about front section, what is going to be the configuration? I hope you have got that particular concept of observation. I'll go on having a beam like this. There are certain reactions to this beam like this. There are certain loads acting on those components, and those loads are going to be configured like this: vertical downward direction, vertical downward direction. These are the loads, four loads acting in downward direction, two reactions. Here we are taking observation in particular format. We are imagining that whole load distribution criteria is concentrated for observation of side view, or it is observed as a side view, and it is considered to be a simply supported or overhung beam diagram for different loading conditions. And for that we are getting the rear suspension reaction like this. Now there will be a question in students mind that, sir, how we should consider a particular load, particular kinds of loads? Why? Because there are typical items available in whole system. What we observe, which are those items when we observe the front or rear regions for observation? The typical items, which are front bumpers, radiators, battery, instrument panels, steering columns, exhaust mufflers, fuel tanks, spare wheels, rear bumpers, and other kinds of loads which are acting inside an automobile panel. These are the loads which what we have considered acting on chassis frames, main loads acting on chassis frames and main panel components. But when it switches over to a surface model, why? Because these loads are going to be developing various deformations in side panels, front panels. Here panel means the sheet metal which is attached to the chassis in terms of body. So body profile is taking certain loads. So now we'll go in detail for those surface configuration considerations. Okay, so what is going to happen? We have considered a particular format that we are having front panels to take loads, but those are sheet metal. So whenever load is acting on this component, the panel which is available over here will have another kind of stress distribution. And which kind of stress distribution is there? I'll also show the load diagram as well, the whole consideration what we have seen configuration frame. Will go through the actual finite element analysis for basic thickness of sheet metal with application of load. So whenever the load acts on a component, which are the loads acting on that particular frame? Look, why this is most important thing for you? Because you need to identify the loading condition in a frame. As well, you need to identify how those loads are going to work. So if I am considering a sheet metal like this, a sheet metal, and which is that component? This is the component what we need to see. 3. I'm saying 3 is the component what we are observing. So here what is going to happen? We'll have a front loading component over here, the reaction load in upward direction, or we can say the front component load, which is going to be available like this. The first reaction available from the bottom, then we'll have the load acting from the powertrain component, which is available over here. And under this condition, there will be multiple reactions. Why? Because this is also holded from particular zone. So if it is holded from particular zone, I'll give green another color to it, so you'll be able to understand. If I'm defining a spot weld over here, so that is the support member, and at that zone we are getting certain reactions. So this is the first holding surface, this is the second holding surface, or you can even imagine a surface like this. This is the fixed surface, fixed region. So what are going to be the reactions on that component? If I'll consider this as a fixed region, then we can have observation like this. Now I think you will be able to imagine what is the configuration I need to discuss. So there will be multiple loads and reactions under this kind of loading condition. Which are those reactions? I'll give a red color to it. So under this action of load, there will be pull condition at the top, and there will be push condition at the bottom. Now you can compare it with the P4 and P5. And under this action, this surface is having certain reaction, and how those reactions are going to act. It will be like this. Okay. So under this condition, this is the visualization of plate 3. Similar visualization can be available for 4. And in this condition, there will be twisting of plate. There will not be a straight load application on plate. I hope you are able to understand the configuration what I am delivering. So here what is going to happen? In this condition, my system's profile or sheet metal is going to behave in particular way. It may twist in particular format, and it may deform in particular format. Similarly, if I am observing the fifth panel, there will be a load in downward direction and there will be reaction in upward direction due to the load which is transferred from the RFL to a particular zone. RFL, RFR, FP, these are the loads which will transfer certain reactions to the endpoint. Which are those endpoints we are observing? These are the endpoints. And due to those endpoints, there will be a certain reaction available in certain zone. Okay, so and due to these reactions, there will be a twisting phenomena in front panel also. In similar manner, if we are moving ahead to have particular quantification of observation, then there will be the loading condition in particular zone. We'll discuss separately by doing FE analysis. I'll show that analysis to you so that you will be able to understand it clearly, how loads are going to act and react in particular zone. Okay, and due to that you will be able to even go through different loading conditions when it is having certain kinds of profile. I hope you are able to understand what is the configuration of system. For floor panel, there will be another loading condition. Why I am showing this to you in the side frame where the doors are mounted, there will be the reaction which is transferred from front and rear components. The channels, front channel and rear channel is also having certain loading condition. So what is going to happen? In front panel, rear panel, at the top, we are having various kinds of reactions and this will deform the sheet metal. The sheet metal is going to deform in particular way, and if we want to control that deformation, what we should do? A direct sheet metal will allow deformations, but the bending of edges in particular profile and building of those edges in frame will hold your component at proper place. So this is the actual idea behind observing the loading condition in various components. If you are able to understand this one, you will be able to understand the other criteria of observation also. So under this kind of loading condition, there will be a whole calculation available for observing those reactions, those load profiles. I'll discuss this and I'll also show the FEA condition in my next lecture. And which format is there, which method is this is the structural surface method. Okay, we are going for observation of this method as which kind of method? SSS method, which is simple structural surfaces and their investigation. Now if you are having any query or question, you can ask me.